morning, stock hustler, and it's Sir Willoughby, and today is Wednesday, July 8th, and we waking up to a sea of red across the board. Futures getting hit, both S&P and the Nasdaq bleeding pre-market. But listen to me, this is exactly the kind of morning where money gets made. If you know where the walls are at, so you got to know where you got your resistance, you got to know where you got your support levels at. So you got to see the wall. So let's break down what's dragging us lower this morning, where the sellers are sitting, and most importantly, where the buyer opportunity is hiding. You get what I'm saying? So I got a few notes I'm going to read off of this morning. We're going to go ahead and get into it. So let's go ahead and roll it out. A lot of factors are moving the market this morning that's moving it lower. It comes down to the big ones. You got the number one geopoliticals that's going on. Overnight, the U.S. and Iran traded strikes back and forth. Iran hit American bases in the Gulf. We struck back. And this morning at the NATO meeting summit, President Trump came out and called the ceasefire over. Flat out said negotiation with them is a waste of my time. Oil spiked more than 5% on that news, and now the Strait of Hormuz risk is right back on the table. This is the risk off headline. When war chatter heats up and the oil jumps, money runs out of stocks, and it's safety. We got to keep our eyes on that. The number two that's going on in the geopolitics, we got the economic data coming in with the Fed. We got that coming in. FOMC meetings dropping today at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So keep your eyes out on that. It's going to be highly volatile around that time, even already before it, but we'll love to see what the morning do at the open. That's dropping today at 2 p.m. Eastern. Then these aren't just any minutes this time. They are from June meeting that we leaned into as hawkish from Federal Chair Kevin Walsh, and also other Fed members who are leaning hawkish from that June meeting. So these minutes are very, very important leading up into this month. Nearly half of the committee is projecting a rate hike this year, and they bumped their inflation forecasts up. So nobody wants to be heavy long until 2 o'clock. You get what I'm saying? So because those notes can flip the tape real quick, happen in a heartbeat. On the third micro level, we putting it all together. We got war headlines, we got oil spiking, and we got Fed event hanging over the whole session. That's a market that wants to sell first and ask questions later. Going into the institutional wall where we can see, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the S&P 500 so we can actually see what's going on. So we got the S&P 500 sitting right here, and we're sitting around the 75.03, down about 0.5% in the pre-market. Now we look up at the top of my chart, you got that IS box, that's the institutional seller zone, roughly between the 7,500 and the 7,560 range. Here's the whole story. In one move, price sold off, then ran right back up quick and tapped the same wall where the big sellers are stacked. That's not strength. That's price getting rejected as supply for the second time. Everything ran back up into the exact spot where the institutions will unload at. Now, the level I care about today on the intraday, we need to hold over that green line. It's the 9 MA, and that white line that's crossing over is 20 MA cluster. You see how they clustered up together? We need to hold above that so that 9 MA can give us confirmation for the move up, and the 20 MA can go ahead and align with it in the bullish territory. But if we don't get that, we'll be falling back below that level. That's roughly the 4770, 7,470 point down to the 7,436 zone. As long as we're above that, the bulls still have a pulse. But if we lose it and close red today, right off the institutional wall, then that's a clean signal for a move lower. Below that, the next real support shelf will be the SS zone. You see that green line? That's my strong support level. And it sits down around a 7,271 point level. That's, excuse me, that's your roadmap. Now, this is not over though, because we want to talk about and get into the Nasdaq so we can see what's going on with the Nasdaq also. So we pull the Nasdaq up, and now the Nasdaq, and this is the weaker of the two. down about 1.3%. And here's the bearish tail. We broke below the previous month's low. That would be that yellow line where you see I got marked up. When you lose prior month structure, that's a shift in character. That's kind of bearish. The first support, we called it. Weak support is around like 28,550 range. If that gives out, next level down is the 28,180 range. That green shelf you see down there where my buyers at. That would be my next level of support. And here's the key line in the sand. If we close on the 28,180, that's strong support. That's a break of structure. A BOS, if you don't know what that means. That's break of structure. And it opens the door for a bigger bearish leg down. But I need you to hear this, though. There's a lot of buyers sitting in this range. If you see the green box at the low, label IB, that's where my institutional buyers has been at all summer. So it's a lot of buyers sitting in this range. Every time price dips into it, they've been stepping in and picking it right back up. We watch. As we watch, there's the 28,180 hold. Do the buyers defend it? If they step in, that's your bounce. If it closes under with no defense, that's when the bears take the wheel. Let's see if they can step in. That would be great. If we can get the bears to step in, this will be amazing for us to start moving higher. And I mean, moving higher, the bulls can step in. The bears step in, we know that we got another leg down. So zoom out on both of these. If you got time right now, I suggest you to zoom out on both of these charts. The S&P and the Nasdaq have been trading sideways all summer. And I keep telling you, fam, that a range is not a boring market. A range is a paycheck if you know how to find the levels and you play calls and puts. There's real money to be made playing the edges. Calls off of the bottoms, puts off of the tops. You can get in and get out. This is how I've been catching the plays, calls, and puts in the same session. But this is the biggest edge. The thing I want you locked in on, and I want you to really pay attention, is the pullbacks. When you know where the walls are at and where the sellers sit and where the buyers defend, you can spot your buy opportunities way more easily. You're not just guessing. You're not just chasing. You let them price come to your level and you can strike. And this is not in no information for you to buy, hold, or sell any asset. This is what I'm doing in my financial journey and what we doing over here in NexGen Trader School community. This is not informational. I'm not a financial advisor. I suggest you seek financial advice from a licensed financial advisor if you need help making investment decisions. Other than that, this is just educational purposes for you to go out and make the educated decision, to do deeper research on what I'm telling you. So please go find that and lock all the way in. So you're not just guessing, you're not just chasing, you letting the price come to you. So here's the game plan for the day. On the S&P, respect the institutional wall. Watch for the red close as for confirmation. On the Nasdaq, let the 28,180 tell the story. Let the buyers show their hand before you commit. And keep both eyes on the 2 o'clock p.m. Those Fed minutes can whip this tape either direction, up or down. So manage your risk. If you're not an advanced trader, I advise you not to do no trading today. Don't do no trading today, man. Just sit back, watch. The best trade is no trade when you can protect your capital. You know, this your morning brief, and you gotta always remember, man, I'm gonna head out. I ain't gonna keep you guys long because the market about to open real soon, and I want to get this out to you ASAP. So just manage your risk today. This is your morning brief. Remember, motivation plus dedication equals progression. I believe in you. Let's get this money. Stock hustlers out.